So there's an old joke about a matchmaker, a shadchan, who goes to a very poor man and says, "Your son, he's great. Let me arrange a marriage for him." The poor man answers, "Well, that's so nice of you, but it's a very old world, and my son is modern. Besides, I never interfere in my son's life." To which the matchmaker responds, "But the girl is Lord Rothschild's daughter." "Well," says the father, "in that case, okay." Next, the shadchan goes to Lord Rothschild. "I have a husband for your daughter," he says. "My daughter's not just going to marry anyone," comes the reply. "Oh, do not worry about that," says the matchmaker. "The young man in question is a hotshot superstar. Already in his early 20s, he's the vice president of the World Bank." "In that case," says Lord Rothschild, "okay." On a roll, the matchmaker heads directly to the office of the president of the World Bank and says, "I have a young man to recommend to you as vice president." "Not only do we not have a position open," says the president, "we definitely don't take random walk-ins from off the street." To which the matchmaker replies, "I hear you, but this young man is Lord Rothschild's son-in-law." Jumping out of his seat with excitement, the president replies, "Well, in that case, okay." Why do I tell you this joke this morning? Because while matchmakers used to be squarely the province of Jewish jokes, of ultra-Orthodox enclaves, or Fiddler on the Roof type nostalgia, a new Netflix series is giving matchmakers their comeback. Specifically, one matchmaker, Aliza Ben Shalom, the star of the new series, Jewish Matchmaking. And the silliness of the joke captures a real-life superpower that she brings to the role, seeing not just what is, but what can be. I have to admit that when I first heard about the show, it was decidedly not on my watch list. Reality TV is not my cup of tea. But I started all of a sudden getting emails from members. Friends were buzzing about it at casual social gatherings. I even had somebody in my office for a somber pastoral visit who looked up at me from behind a tear-soaked tissue, only to say, "Rabbi, I'm sure you must have seen Jewish Matchmaking." So clearly, I had to watch. I can save you a few hours by telling you that those profiled were every bit the TV reality show template that you would expect them to be. And the premise, every bit as kitschy as you would expect it to be. But one question stuck with me and kept me watching. Why would someone want to return to the days of Yenta the matchmaker? Is that a real thing? And if so, why? Episode after episode, what the folks who go to Aliza Ben Shalom seeking love share is something that I hear poignantly from our 20 and 30-somethings all the time. Dating today is hard. Lots of Hinge, lots of Bumble, lots of algorithms and profiles and packaging yourself just so. Lots of swipe right and swipe left, lots of frogs kissed, lots of dates, lots of unhappy, unfruitful dates. So much so that for some, the heart cries out, Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Could our Bubby and Zadie's world of setups by someone who cared about them, who had a checklist and careful insight and connections beyond our circle, have something to say to us today? Eliza Ben Shalom definitely thinks so. Watching her sit with her pen and her pad, asking clarifying questions of the lonely hearts in search of love, I noticed that she offers something that we don't often think about, but is foundational to all of our lives, not just when we're trying to find a mate. It's something so simple that it's often overlooked, but it's really critical for all of our spirits. The power of interest, the power of leaning in to get to know someone, to try to meet them where they are, asking about their dreams and trying to lend our hands to move them a little closer to fulfilling them so that they do not feel alone. It's easy to miss, but that's actually the main message our Torah portion this morning gave us too. The words Bamidbar means in the desert. Our people are betwixt and between, lost and lonely, and just like anyone looking for a match, they are anxious. There's fear. What if it doesn't work out? What if my dream does not come to fruition? Who will I be? Am I alone? Right then and there, God gives Moses what at first glance is the most dull and tone-deaf commandment. Take a census. What is a census, though, other than leaning in, looking, counting, saying, you matter. You are not just one small, nameless ant in a faceless colony. You are a vital component of something larger than yourself. I see you. You count. Over there is Shlumiel, son of Suri Shaddai. Hi. Eliab, son of Chelon. Hi. Nachshon, whose story the Midrash will later tell us redeemed our entire people with his willingness when Pharaoh's armies were descending and the people were stuck facing certain death to take one small step into the sea, which then parted before him and before us. All of those names, their stories matter. Lean in, learn, see something, see someone. That alone can change the world. We don't need Pharaoh's armies at our backs or to be a matchmaker to do that. It's something we can all do for each other every day. The miracles that we call successes, that we ultimately come to celebrate, often start slowly with the smallest of actions, noticing and responding to someone in need. That's what Clint Pulver experienced when, as a fidgety child, he had been berated so often, sent to the principal, even asked to sit on his hands because his tapping was so distracting, labeled a problem. Until a teacher, Mr. Jensen, watching him pound his hands against the desk, distracting the class yet again, told him to stay after school. Clint was certain that he was going to be punished again. Instead, he recalls, Mr. Jensen reached into his desk and pulled out a pair of drumsticks. He looked Clint in the eye and said, "You are not a problem. I think you're a drummer." It's in that moment that Mr. Jensen changed Clint's life, right then and there. Such a small thing, 2 small sticks. Such a transformative thing. The gift of a different way to see himself. Clint, who has since gone on to become a professional drummer and an inspirational speaker, reflects, he saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. And in that moment, I learned that there's a difference between being the best in the world and the best for the world. Interestingly, under all that Hollywood glitter, that's the core impact of what Eliza Ben Shalom does for those singles in search of soulmates on Jewish Matchmaking too. What's amazing about the season, with apologies in advance for the spoiler alert, is that she actually doesn't have a spectacular success rate. Wedding bells don't always, or even often, ring. But her biggest gift in matchmaking goes so far beyond matchmaking. She sees and helps those she guides through the dating process to see in themselves something that they had not seen before. In each case, it's different, but in each case, the same. A new patience to give someone else a chance. Who couldn't use that? There is so much brokenness in our world today, so much loneliness. What if we each decided right here, right now, today, to meet that with attention, with our presence, with our vision, to lean in, to see, and to surround each other with more caring, with more love? I don't know about you, but my answer to that would be a wholehearted, well, in that case, okay. Shabbat shalom.